Well, everybody, my name is Bud, and welcome to another day in the Lifelong Vlog Blog Challenge. Can you tell that I am purposefully trying to be conscious of the pronunciation of all of the letters in all of the words that I am speaking? It's an interesting study of how some of us, have become lazy in speaking and don't pronounce our words, don't properly get all of the syllables and emphasize the varying sounds made by the different letters and combination of letters to include proper, or say, emphasis or accent on the proper syllables, so on and so forth, and how these lacks are perceived, or certainly can be perceived, by people who will hear us speak. Uh, uh, Specifically, now I have a bit of a physical condition, the result of a droopy face, the result of I don't know what, but have a relaxed eye on my right side. Uh, that's apparent if you see me. If you see me when I'm actually videoing, and that same droopiness has affected the right corner of my mouth. I don't whistle. It's hard to swish liquids in my mouth like you might in gargling, or swishing some type of mouthwash or something before spitting it out. But um, specifically, those people who might see us and judge us are the prospects and potential customers and or business associates who will come into our organization or not come into our organization because they perceive us to be lax or lackadaisical, uh, just because we are lackadaisical in our speech. Is that fair? One can argue, but it is a material fact, and that cannot be argued. So, knowing these things, and this is what is a mark, or certainly included in the mark or marks of a professional, and that is that a professional, in knowing X, Y, or Z, whatever it is that we may be talking about, certainly where they have lacks in those areas, will do what needs to be done in order to overcome those lacks. Okay? So in my case, is it a pain to, you know, spend the time and the energy in focusing on how I pronounce my words, being consciously uh, you know, paying attention? Yes, of course. Why? Because it's not comfortable, because it's different than what I normally do or have normally done. But we do it not because it is or is not comfortable, not because it is or is not convenient. We do it because it is professional. We do it because of what we get out of it. Now, of course, what we get out of it will translate to benefits directly to us, but, and I believe more importantly, and I believe that if you think about this, you will agree, because I have to believe that most people, given an opportunity, are interested in other people, or certainly can learn to be interested in other people enough to where they're willing to do things, albeit not convenient or comfortable, but do them anyway for the benefit of others, for how others can benefit, will benefit, will but do the things that are not necessarily comfortable or convenient. So that's my pitch for the day, and that's all I'm going to do. I hope. Well, at least on this video, at least to you, at least now. Let's continue. Let's wrap things up here. We have typing results for the day, and the results are 47 words per minute, 14.6 error percentage, in a time of 7 minutes 44 seconds. And there you have it. Paying attention to the pronunciation of the words and their letters and their, you know, syllables and where the accent goes and all that stuff that goes into it. And I'm just learning this stuff, so but it does cause you to slow down in speech, and as it turns out, the general rate, the average rate at which you want to communicate is at a rate of the majority of people, which the majority of people, around 150, 160, somewhere in there. That's not speaking rate when we're talking about them. I'm talking about my speech rate relative to the individuals, the overwhelming majority of people's ability to take in that information and make sense of it. If you're talking too low, then they are somewhere else in time and space, rather than listening to you. But if you're at the right pace, they can take in those words, they can assimilate them, and still keep up with you in your talking. If you are talking too quickly, however, most people won't be able to do that, and you will be losing them. They'll be thinking about something you said, and then you're X number of words down the line, and they're not able to connect the dots. So that's another thing that we keep in mind in learning of these things, in order to what? Better be able to help more people, because more people will understand what it is we're saying, assuming that we're saying it in some cohesive, coherent manner, in order to have the information and be able to make informed decisions. We're out of here. This is Bud again. We look forward to the next time that we can spend time together, hopefully. That will be as soon as tomorrow. But if not, then hopefully sooner than later. But in either case, until then, we wish you well. Goodbye.